Hey everyone, it's me, Alan J, again with another video. The last video I did was about this quote I did, which was truth is what we all desire and yet still neglect. I gave my opinion of that because I like that quote. But it's a quote that I came up with, like the video before. I looked it up and see if anyone had that quote, but if anyone did before me, please let me know. But it's a quote that I did that I put on my page that said we all shout for change and yet still run towards familiarity. And my friend, when I told my friend that, he was like, "Yo, bro, why did you come up with that quote? Like, what inspired you to do that?" And it's because one of my friends, this individual, always talks about change in their life. They always talk about it, want it, and everything like that. And it gets to a point where, this individual knows that they need to change certain things if you want something to better yourself. So I talk to this individual person. They always talk to me. They have confidence in telling me certain things, but it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, there are certain things you need to change in your life, but it gets to a point where it's so comfortable with the life that this individual is leading that when something that's familiar with this individual person comes their way, they run towards it, But with something like a big change needs to happen or needs to make it happen itself, the individual don't do that. So that's why I came up with the quote, because I noticed that a lot of people that I come across, there's things I see on social media or the news, like we all want change, we all want this, we all want that. We shout it to our lungs or we post it, we want change, we want to do this, we want to do that. But at the end of the day, when that change comes, we're trying to make the change, we either don't want to do it or too afraid to do it. And and that's why I think that when the time comes, we again neglect it or we're afraid of it because we're scared of change. And it gets to the point where with something that we feel comfortable with, something that's familiar, we go right towards it because it's familiar. So it's like people normally always want to speak and shout change because they like the idea of it. But at the end of the day, the actions always run towards something that still makes us comfortable. So we always idolize the words, but we still, with the actions, we still it's basically with we still look at people's words and be like we idolize it, we believe the words, but when it comes to actions, it's a totally different thing. Some people say actions speak louder than words, but unfortunately, some people, their words means more than actions. But in my personal opinion, my opinion of that, I think that's not true because people can say one thing and actions do another. That's why we shout for change and yet still run towards familiarity. That's my take on it. That's why I came up with that, because this individual person always want change, and I give them advice about changing to better themselves in relationships or just in life to better themselves. But it's at the end of the day, they don't run towards or try to make a change because they're afraid of it. They still go toward a familiarity. It could be a relationship. That's a good prime example because a lot of people, they know that this individual person, a girl or boy, is bad for them, and they constantly in this toxic relationship with the next person, and then when it gets to the point where they know that they need to stop dating or stop dealing with these type of dudes or girls, that they know they need to change. They need to change with themselves, or they know they need to do something with themselves to change themselves so they won't have to attract those toxic people. It's the idea, they want to say it, but it gets to the point where, okay, but when somebody else, when you want to make that change, where you have that subconscious to make that change, you want to make that change, it's still like that girl or guy that is toxic, you still want to go towards them because it's familiar. And it's not all the time. It's not all the time. It's sometimes. Some people, when they want to make that change, they do. They like, okay, I know this individual person is toxic for me. I know that this individual person, friend or relationship, is not good for my life. So I know I need to, if something that's familiar that the next person did wrong to me before, and there's a next person that comes to my life does the kind of like similar things, I know to get away from that. I know to steer clear. But some people just still has a natural thing to still gravitate towards it because change is something scary to them. That's why a lot of people want to say change, want to do change, want to do this. They shout it they out the top of their lungs, but still they still run to something that's still familiar because it feels like they don't understand themselves. That's my opinion on it. That's why I came with that quote. That's my interpretation why I came with the reason. But what do you think about the quote? Let me know. Text me or anything like that. Just let me know what you think that quote means. Follow me on YouTube, Alan J. Instagram, Alan J 62. Holler at you later. Peace.